What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Asus Ally X and Z1 Extreme gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're going to try that Atomfall game that we tried out on the Steam Decks in the last video. And the Steam Decks handled it very, very well, so I'm hopeful that Windows won't just randomly make it stutter or lag or do a bunch of random stupid crap. That would be great, but that happened to me with Sonic, where Sonic ran great on the Steam Decks, then I came over the Allies and I couldn't even get a constant 60, and I was sitting here going, what in the hell is going on here? So hopefully that won't happen here, but if it does, you'll see it here live. Well, not live, but you know what I mean. You'll see it here in the videos. No one can sit there and go, oh, it'll do this, that, and the other thing. Well, not according to my video, you know? But hey, before we make those claims, let's go see. Maybe it'll even be playable on 1080p high. How cool would that be? So now for the Ally here, we're gonna do, well, both Allies. We're gonna do 1080p high, then we'll do 900p medium, and finish up with 720p low. And we'll just do that on both of them. Now, I don't think I'm gonna get 10 minutes of footage for each one like I was on the Steam Deck, but we can at least get like maybe a little more than normal, like 3 minutes or something like that. But hey, let's hop into the game and let's go see what's what. All right, here we are in game. And I figured this wasn't gonna be like a 60 FPS experience, but I was thinking, hey, it'd probably be like 30, 40 FPS experience, and that's all some people want. So yeah, it seems like on the Ally, at least in this particular area, you can basically stay over 30 most of the time. There could be a spot here and there where it drops to 28, 29, but from what I remember happening, it was mostly like 30 plus. Okay, I guess the question is, will it stay at this kind of FPS when it drops down to its 25 watt TDP? Right now it seems to be doing that 30 watt boost thing that it can do for a certain amount of time. But unless you fiddle with it, I don't think it'll stay like that. It usually ends up dropping back to 25 after a certain amount of time. So I wonder what that'll do to our CPU and GPU megahertz and whatnot. I mean, the CPU ain't doing much. It's sitting there at like 1400. It's giving all the power to the GPU right now, which is smart. At least it's working properly. Some games are like, I don't know what to do. I want to give the CPU some of this. Oh, wait, never mind. The GPU needs some. So now, stutter. Oh, lag. You know, I don't like that. That kind of happened to the Asus G15 Advantage in a lot of games. It doesn't if you use their drivers, but if you use Asus's drivers, I think they stopped making drivers for that years ago, so you'd be using some really outdated drivers. So I use the up-to-date drivers, but they don't have that fancy smart shift stuff, to my knowledge. It doesn't seem like it's working if it has it. Because sometimes my CPU will basically be sitting there twirling its thumbs, but it'll sit there at 4.3 gigahertz, and then the GPU will be sitting there at like 800 in a game like this. You know, not the most graphically intensive game known to man, but still, you know, you'd think it'd need more than 800 megahertz. I mean, even this thing is using 2400. Like, I know a 6800M is way more powerful than a 6 or a 780M, but still. Oh, we found the rail yard, although I'm not going to lie, I figured we were already in the rail yard back there next to the rail cars, but hey, what do I know? It's not like I'm a train guy. I think trains are somewhat neat, but I don't know all that much about them, other than how a steam engine works. Oh, I guess I know how the modern ones work too, but still. I watched lots of info types of movies as a kid. Even some of the animated ones I watched trained me to like art and stuff like that. I still remember this one from a kid called Gay Paris, which was like these cats, and then one of them gets like sold off into basically slavery because she's pretty. But then halfway through, they just have like a thing about art, and they just show all sorts of cool paintings and whatnot. And I thought it was pretty cool. Now let's move on to something a little more reasonable for the FPS department, 900p medium. Now we'll go look at the customized stuff. I hope I remember to turn motion blur off. Every time I change the settings, unless I put it to low, motion blur keeps getting turned back on, even though I remember turning it off. That kind of happens to me sometimes with VSync and stuff too. I'll think I turn it off, and then either I didn't didn't save it and say, hey, save, or B, it just flips itself back on with another graphic setting. Here we go. Now we're going to get ourselves some 900p medium. And it seems like the thing has calmed down to its 25 watt TDP, which did make the GPU drop down to like 2.1 gigahertz from the 2.3 to 2.5 it was getting. But we also lowered the FPS, or the graphics settings, so it seems to be having not a whole lot of problems staying in the 70s. But I still think there's some points where it drops under 60 like this once we get back outside, so I still test out low for you guys, because I think that one for sure stays over 60 the entirety. It's still got a stutter every now and again, and I have a theory on that. I'm trying to pay attention. I feel like most of the stutters come from when the game auto-saves. And so I've played many of a game that stutters a little when it saves. I don't think it's cool or acceptable, but it happens. And besides, I'm just happy the game is smooth 99% of the time. Most DX12 games are stutter fests, like the whole time, all the time. Like Jedi Survivor bad. Like, I tested that game out recently on my two, I haven't put the videos out yet, but I tested that game out on both of my new computer I made for the main and my old main computer with a slight PC or CPU upgrade, and it still couldn't play that game worth of shit. Okay, that was really weird. It sounded like somebody was about to push my door open. I think I'm going to go lock that now. Okay, door's locked, so at least nothing can just come in, but I mean, I got a window in front of my thing, so if somebody with a gun came up, they could just shoot me as I sit here recording my videos, but luckily I live in a place where that, like, there's a 99.99999% chance that'll never happen. Because I keep to myself, and I just chill out in the country here, so as long as you don't piss nobody off, unless you get really unlucky and some random robbers are just like, ooh, let's go to that house. But they had picked the wrong house. I'll know you're here before you know. Before you think I do, and then, yeah, you break into my house, you're getting shot, man. I don't give a shit about what the law says I can do or not. If somebody's trying to break in and hurt me, my cat, or anything else, they're done. I don't give a shit. Like, I know it's not legal to kill somebody over trying to hurt your pet either, but I'm one of those people like, nope, I care about Missy a lot. I'll definitely just kill you and then dump your body out in the woods where no one will ever find you. And if they're a criminal scum, no one will care anyway. It's not like I'm one of those serial killers who's actually going out and hurting good people. I don't know. I'm one of those people that does not, when you hear the news and that's like, the murderer was killed. I'm just like, good. Fuck him. He doesn't need to be here anyway. The damn people keep letting those guys back out. You used to get like the chair hung when you did that shit. But I guess people had a good point. Some people are put in there illegally and they're not actually guilty, and then if you kill them, that's pretty fucked up. But for the ones that are 100% fact, like they're on video killing, time to go, you know? Now it's 720p time on the Z1 Extreme here. And then after this, we'll do the whole shebang again on the X. But let's go have a quick look at the graphics things. This is one of the few ones that just turns almost all these things off. This obscurance fields is the only thing it does not turn off. Well, now we've got 720p with the game on low. Obviously, it's not going to look that impressive anymore, but really the game was never like super awesome, the best graphics known to man. It looked alright on Ultra, though, when I tested it out on a more powerful computer. What the hell? Is that a helicopter? Whatever it is, it's loud. Misty hears it. It's probably the U of M helicopter. It like always flies by. It flew like right over the roof of my old house. This one, it kind of crosses over a cornfield. I can kind of see it from my windows here. Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's okay, Misty. It's just a helicopter. Unless it just comes over here, loses power, and drops onto our house, I think we're okay. And that'd be pretty rare situation to get in. I feel like I'd probably get hit with a meteor before that kind of shit happens, you know? Or win the lottery. Not like I need it. Although if I did, I could just kind of revamp what I do now. Instead of having like a 40K bullshit around account, I could have like a 100K bullshit around account where the rest of the money's off, making me more money. Now, a lot of people would say that's way too much to have, but I don't know. I think it's cool to be able to just buy a car or whatever you want. Most of the time I just buy video games, weed, and gas with it, but every once in a while I'll upgrade my computer or something like that. And then when I make some profit, I'll put a little bit into my bullshit around account, and I'll put the rest to make more money. That's why they're saying you gotta have money to make money exist. Now I totally get it. And once you do, though, you're pretty much set. Depending on how much money you have, anyway. But even if you don't have a lot, save, invest. Even if you can only do a little bit. And most important advice I can give, don't use credit cards much. It's a trap. It happened to me when I was younger. I thought, oh man, this will be easy. I can pay this off no problem. And then you don't realize when you have like no credit and you're just starting off, they fuck you with freaking APR. And they're like, oh, that $300 credit card you got? Oh shit, now it's like you owe like $800. And you thought you could afford it. But no, right now you're broke as shit. Because yeah, I did not always have a lot of money. I started off on like completely like not living on the street level, but parents living with their parents kind of shit, trying to scrape by. Didn't get everything I wanted. Had some cool stuff, so it's not like I was completely broke, like I said, not living on the street, kind of Aladdin kind of street rat kind of shit, but definitely the kid who was seen as not having very much money, even though I lived in what was considered a giant mansion. But that was my grandparents' house, not mine. So, that's why I'm just having fun now. Didn't get to as a kid. Now I get to do basically, within reason, anything I want. Still can't go buy Lambos and shit yet. Well, alrighty, we're gonna start the whole thing over again on the Ally X now, and see how they compare. Usually this one will be like a frame or two ahead, but I swear sometimes in certain games, I feel like the Z1 Extreme gets smoother gameplay and higher FPS, but it might just be placebo, because I'm doing the same resolutions, and technically speaking, this has faster RAM, which helps APU, so it should get slightly better, like 3 to 5 FPS better. But hey, let's hop in, let's find out. So here we go, we're starting off on high 1080p. And yeah, seems to be getting about the same FPS. Although, a little bit higher. Because the other one was dropping down into the 30s here and there. Although, maybe we're just in the wrong spot for that to happen. It's not like I'm in the same exact spot every time. I'm just kind of walking around exploring. But see what I mean? When the game's on high anyway, it doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look like anything to write home about, of course, but it doesn't look as bad as some games. And then there's still Ultra. I haven't seen Ultra yet, except for gameplay from other people. And that's what made me go, oh man, this game looks pretty fun. I'm going to grab it and go do some videos of myself. Or for myself, you know? But still, a lot of the videos I do are all requests, which is fun. But I still put some of my own videos in there that I want to do, or new games like this that no one necessarily asked for, but I just saw and thought, hey, let's make a video on it. It's new. I even do the games everyone seems to hate. Like, I'll go play Assassin's Creed Shadows or frickin' Forspoken and all that shit. I don't care. The only thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go buy like $70, $80 sports games. Like football and basketball and soccer and all that. I'm never going to play them. I suck at sports, and I don't feel like wasting the money. So unless it's on EA Play, I just tell people, sorry. Now, once I make money off of the YouTube, I'm going to put every dime of YouTube back into YouTube, and then I can totally do stuff like that. Because I'll be like, all right, hey, cool. A subscriber wants me to test out a sports game. It might not be my cup of tea, but hey, at least I can just use the YouTube money, buy his game, and then probably make it back making some YouTube videos about it, you know? Alright, that guy's whooping my ass. Okay, I got him. Oh, no. We need to retreat. Oh, no, 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 no. Ah, I got shot. Yeah, you cannot run bullets. I'm not like the Flash or anything. But anyway, why don't we move on? Well, actually, no. We'll get a little bit more footage here. I'm trying to get like about 3 minutes. We still got like a minute or so, I'd say, of footage here. I don't want to make it too low. And I'm not going to lie, maybe it's just a placebo effect, but it almost felt like my recordings here didn't sound as good as usual. So if that is the case, and I'm not just in my own head about it, I do apologize about that. Ever since I got my new computer, I've been having trouble making the damn microphone's high-pass filter work. That's one of my favorite parts about this microphone. It basically makes it so you can't max it out. And then it's also really good about killing background noise from like my computers or my TV. Because even when I do this, I'll usually have like my TV on, but like at 3, to the point where you guys usually can't hear anything it's doing, but I'm still slightly entertained and can listen to it while I make the videos for you. I used to just sit in complete silence, and now no. I just didn't like it very much. Like right now I got a Queso YouTube video playing in the background. I really like that guy. He's a funny-ass streamer. He deserves every sub he gets. Hey, a guy with a frickin' guitar? Who are you? Nat Buckshaw? Buckshaw, excuse me. Alright, let's drop her down to 900p just like we did on the Z1 Extreme. And then after we get a little bit of gameplay here, we will go ahead and drop it down to 720. And then after that, we'll go do some camera, and I think that'll be the end of the video after that. Oh, interesting. I didn't notice that what it said ray traced soft shadows. So that's cool. It can even do some mild itty-bitty ray tracing and still get acceptable FPS. That's pretty neat. All right, well, here's 720p medium. And I was talking to this one dude, so I made sure to get a little bit extra time. I went like an extra minute or so of actually running around, just so it's not me talking to an old, crazy possible person. Although, you know, the ones in these games that seem like they're the craziest usually end up helping you the most. I've noticed that.
Things have been bad ever since the government built that plant across the water. Shady, secret stuff them scientists...
Yeah, the government usually has scientists up to all sorts of creepy-ass shit.
Keen to bury it when it went wrong. Listen, I overheard them once, the blokes in noddy suits. The ones that appeared right after the disaster, talking about their quarantine, how they had to seal the place. Said something about an interchange, a secret project. But I should stop talking before I get carried away. Not personal. I can be a right chatterbox, that's all. It's what they chucked me up the village for, the buggers.
Alright. I'm just trying to get as much info as I can. It seems like information in this game is worth quite a lot. Because then I can probably figure out where the hell to go, and like all sorts of other shit. Or he might just be rambling a bunch of incoherent nonsense. Who's to say? But hopefully I'll get to the bottom of it when I play for real. Or who knows? Maybe in front of you guys. I still got all my computers to do this game on. It just seems like one that I should do it on all the computers for, you know? Especially because we haven't had anything powerful enough to try Ultra out. I was going to try it out on the small form factor PC, but that's when I learned the game even as de novo, and still runs this well. So, that's pretty cool. Oh, it might not be de novo, but it's some kind of copyright protection, because it stopped me after 5 computers. So, tomorrow I can almost get done. I can get to my new main computer, but I'll have to do the TV PC the next day. I'm not used to games taking 3 days to do. But hey, when you incorporate 2 extra ones and they use a key for each, hey, that's gonna happen. Well, for each, 4. That's 4, never mind. So I'm using 4 right for that, then I did the fire bat, so yeah, that makes sense. That's 5 right there. Alright, let's go run around for a little bit. I don't want the 900p medium to just be me talking to an old man the whole time. So let's go and find us, hopefully, some shit. Hopefully some more ammo and whatnot. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like my axe, but it doesn't seem to be the most effective thing out here. They can still shoot me pretty effectively and pretty easily. Now, the cool thing is not all of them have guns either, but it seemed like that last time I died, enough of them had guns to shoot my ass, that's for sure. I was like, haha, I beat one of your guys with an axe. Then I turned the corner, holy shit, there's like 5 of you. Ah! And I just tried to run away and it did not work. I can't outrun bullets. I'm not the Flash. And then even if I was, my stupid ass would go so fast he'd get stuck in some alternate dimension or go back in time or some nonsense. I cannot handle having super speed. I'm fast enough already anyway. Though, don't get me wrong, it'd be great to be able to, like, dodge bullets and shit. Or better yet, flick them back at your opponents. Just like, haha, that's cute. Flick, flick, flick. But I guess just you having super speed doesn't really negate the fact it's coming at you at, like, thousands of miles an hour. So even if you tried to flick them, it would still knock your finger off. You're not Superman at that point. You'd have to have... Yeah, you'd have to literally be Superman, I guess. You'd have to have a body of steel and be almost as fast as the Flash. Although some people still said Superman's faster than the Flash, but I don't know. I never really cared. I just thought they were both neat characters as a kid. I never really sat there and fanboyed over characters and thought that they were the best and no one else could like anybody else. I figured, dude, it's a comic book. Everybody should just like who they like. Fuck it. That's how I am with almost everything, to be honest. Like what you like as long as you're not harming anybody. And it's not illegal, you know? Alright, it is 720p time. And this is definitely what... Well, to be honest, I would probably fiddle with the settings and do a mixture of medium and low, but that's just me. Probably put the texture up to medium, maybe even high, and just deal with right around 60 FPS, but at the same time, I could definitely see myself going with low too, but I never know what I'll do till I actually start playing the game. Anyway, let's go do just that. Well, now here we go with some 720p low. I get right around that FPS I like for single-player games, that 80 to 100 FPS. Mostly hanging out in the 80s to 90s, similar to the other one. I still think this one seems to be ahead by a FPS or two. And once they both settle at 25 watts, this one's CPU seems to go a little higher sometimes. Wasn't the other one at like 1400 or something like that? GPUs seem to be similar. Anywhere from 2 gigahertz to 1.5. Ooh, gun. I don't care if it's rusty. It's rusty but trusty. Not really. A rusty gun is like the least trusty thing you could possibly have. But, you know, world like this that looks like it was like nuked or something, beggars can't be choosers. Like, ooh, a gun? Can it shoot bullets? Maybe. Alright, cool. That's good enough for me. Oh, Misty, be nice to your poor ear. If you itch it like that, you're going to make it all bleedy. And then if you do that, it's going to scab up, and then it's going to get more itchy. So she looks right at my eye and goes right back to doing it. You know, it's not like she can understand what I'm saying anyway, so. But I don't know. I just talk to my cat. It's fun. Sometimes it sure seems like she can understand certain things, though. Because I'll just tell her to do something, not in a cutesy voice or anything, and she'll do it sometimes. But then as a cat can do, if the cat doesn't want to do it, the cat's going to look at you, tell you to fuck yourself, and go off and do what the cat wants to do. I mean, I know you can train a cat, but I don't know. I usually just let cats do their own thing. As long as they're not clawing furniture, I always redirect that energy. And usually I won't have them jump on counters, but with Misty, we just kind of let her jump on counters at the old house, so she got it in her head that it's okay to do all the time. So now she does it here too. But that was my fault, so I can't even be mad at her, you know? Alright, hopefully I can trespass without being seen, because if I remember correctly, there's literally like 20 guys down there. Some of them have bats, some of them have axes, some of them have guns. So if I go down there, I'm going to die. And something just shot at me or blew up. Maybe I went through a tripwire I didn't see? Well, if I did, I'm glad I didn't die. But now everyone and their mother knows that I'm here, probably. Alright, now for some camera recorded gameplay here. Still trying to figure out how I can get by all these guys without them seeing me. Because I got like an axe and a shotgun, I think, with 1 or 2 shells. Uh-oh, where are you?
Let's just calm down, eh? No need for violence. Let's take this steady now. Let's have no strife. Steady. Come on then. Time to sort this out. Gonna rough you up.
Nope, I'm dead. He was much better with that axe than me. Oh, well, I'm surprised it took this long to die, honestly. Maybe it was because I was crouched. I think I already got stuff off this dude, didn't I? No, I guess not. Oh wait, that was on the Steam Deck. Oh, that's just that one lady. We don't need to assassinate her in the back with an axe. She's alright. Testing that out in case I need to use it again. I didn't do too good with it last time. I think if I go that way, that's just that bandit base or whatever that I'm almost positive I will die if I go into, so don't need to go that way. Seems like going that way gets me killed by random people. That's going to be anywhere to go there. That's a lot of shale. It's kind of cool. Sometimes it can even hit the native refresh rate plus. Oh yeah, you can't go up there. That will not go well. Doesn't look like this goes anywhere. Nope. That is a dead end. But what is this? Oh, you can probably make healing stuff with that. This too still has little stutters here and there, just like the Steam Deck did, but this is getting way more FPS than the Steam Deck did. The Steam Decks were still more than playable though. This is just a slightly better experience, at least most of the time. But like I said, even those stutter every once in a while, so it's not like they were butter smooth. A lot of the times, frame time graphs pretty damn smooth, even on a little handheld like this. That's pretty nice. But I think that's probably good, so why don't we move on? Alright, now for some camera recorded gameplay on the Ally X. It almost looks like a secret door. But no. Alright, well, we found some more string. Nothing in that one, though. Well, seems like a fun game, but definitely not an easy game. Although I just went with like the default setting, which says it was actually pretty decently hard, so not surprising I'm getting owned by these outlaw people. Oh no, bees. Ooh, there's some peeps. I really want to try to take out 2 of them at once. Let's see, so do you split up or do you guys know? You guys look like you travel in pack. Sounds like he's somewhere over here. Nope, doesn't seem to be anything useful here. Ooh, nice. We got a rifle now. Alright though, why don't we also go wrap this video on up? Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Atomfall. on the Asus Allies, and it runs very well on these too. I mean, if you don't care about 60 FPS, you can basically, at least in the area I was at, stay above 30, all but I think maybe one time, even on high 1080p. And generally when I do that anymore with any AA or AAA games, the newer ones anyway, it tends to be more like a 25 to maybe I'll hit 30 every once in a while experience. So it's nice to see a game that runs pretty damn good, but at the same time, obviously its graphics aren't anything to super write home about. And that's okay. Like I always say, I'd rather a game look like this and run pretty smoothly and get somewhat decent FPS versus, you know, most games like this we would have struggled to even hit 60 if we ever hit it at all. And you know, on low, you stay above it all the time. At least in this area. Could be way harder places later on. No crashes, no nothing on the Steam Decks or the Allies either. It's been a very pleasant experience so far, other than being kind of hard and I keep getting owned by outlaws, but hey, that's just part of the game. That's not the game's fault. That's a me problem. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys for this particular video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoy making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.